All right, Rise Psychotherapy Family Support Services has an event coming up that we're all going to want to be part of. Joining me is Cece Jean from Rise. How are you?
I'm great. How are you today?
I am well. So before we get into the event that's coming up, tell us a little bit about Rise Psychotherapy and Family Support Services.
Well, we have been in practice since June of 2022. I have about 24 years experience as a mental health professional, and it was finally time for me to get out there and start my own thing. So we're starting as a mental health practice, but with the family support services piece, I really hope to expand and actually develop a center that will meet the comprehensive needs of families in crisis. So not just the mental health, but the vocational support, the religious support, the physical health support, just anything that would actually enhance the functioning of the family in its entirety. So that's where we're headed.
Absolutely. So I love the way the reason, I guess, that you use the word rise in your title.
Yes.
Tell us about that. That's an important piece of what you do.
Yes, the name Rise was inspired by my favorite poet of all time, Maya Angelou. Her poem, "And Still I Rise," spoke to me as a little girl. It really spoke to me about believing in your own potential, knowing who you are, and not letting obstacles deter you from the dreams and the goals that you believe have been placed in your heart. So anybody who comes through the door at Rise, I want them to know that they matter, that they can succeed, and they can be whatever it is they put their head to being. So, you know, it's about hope, ultimately, and growth.
Gabriel, what is it about Rise that made you decide, I want to be part of this, I want to be part of what's going on here?
Well, I have known Miss Cece for a few years. We used to work at the same place in the past, and when I saw that she was hiring, I immediately just jumped on that because I really like her presence, and I know she is very skilled at what she does. And coincidentally, I was also looking for a private practice to kind of hone my counseling skills, and I feel like we just really mesh well together and we work well together. And I really like the mission of Rise to support, to be as a one-stop shop for families and anything that they need.
Well, and if you love what you're doing, it's not work, right?
That's right.
You get paid to do what you love.
Absolutely.
All right, let's talk about Singles Night Out.
Okay, so this is an event that was inspired by my work with singles. They often feel like there isn't anything for them. So I thought this Valentine's Day, you know, instead of us focusing on the couples, let's focus on single individuals who have a healthy mindset and really want to be partnered in healthy relationships. So it's, yes, it's a mixer. It's going to be fun. We're going to have music and food, but we're also going to start it with a healthy dating seminar and some interactive games so that we can kind of really teach and educate what should we be looking for in a partner, what really does matter, do we have proper priorities, are we being intentional? So hopefully this event will not just be fun, but it'll be inspiring, it'll be informational, it may give somebody some hope that maybe what it is they're looking for is still out there.
Hey, I like the sound of that. So it's not about swiping left or swiping right.
No,
it's about
no.
When you said being intentional, that's
yes.
That's getting back to the way you know, folks dated before you had
yes.
all of these digital devices.
Absolutely.
And that's what really fostered good, healthy relationships.
I agree. I really think social media and our phones and the internet has done a detriment to us making real, healthy connections. We no longer really are comfortable presenting our authentic selves. We're trying to play games and we coming up with angles for trying to meet people rather than showing up as who we really are and being clear about what it is we're needing and what we really want and being, you know, assertive about asking for it and expecting it. So it really isn't as hard as we've kind of made it out to be, but if we could just get back to the basics, I think a lot of us would find a lot more success. Now, I know I'm married, but this is really for the single folks. I really want everybody to know what it's like to actually be involved in a healthy relationship.
Interactive activities.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, we're going to do some icebreakers, and we may do a couple of rounds if anybody's familiar with Pop the Balloon. I don't know if you know.
Pop the Balloon?
You might have to look it up, Chad. But, but it's just a game where you kind of narrow down based on some initial preferences. I think it would be useful to kind of explore what do we eliminate people over initially, and are they valid reasons for eliminating people? Just to open some discussion about why we choose who we choose and making sure that we're choosing in our best interests.
Yeah, Gabriel, I think getting into these kind of interactive activities, these mixer environments, helps people who have just been focused on this kind of digital communication get back to what real communication is about.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that, especially in my work with couples, I always emphasize that communication is very important in relationships, not only romantic relationships, but just relationships in general. And I think that if you build a relationship on healthy communication, honesty, you can only go up from there.
Absolutely.
I mean, that sounds like the recipe for success, right? You have to start on the relationship. You mentioned it. It's not about having physical. You don't have to go straight to physical relationship.
Right.
It's just about building that overall relationship to begin with.
Yes, I
Where
agree.
we signed up all of our best friends when we were kids, and it wasn't like we were going into a physical relationship. We're just being buddies,
Right.
on the playground or in the classroom, and it was just like, yeah. But we had to do that. We had to develop like
Yes.
that. It's just not happening like that now.
I agree.
So this event you said is going to be happening on.
It's going to be this Friday, February the 7th at 7 p.m. at the Clocked Out Sports Bar in Pascagoula. It's a $20 entry fee, so not much at all for a night of fun, education, and you never know, maybe your person is there.
That, not just a person, your person.
That's right.
We all got one.
That's right.
We all got one somewhere. We just have to find them. And I have a feeling that Singles Night Out might be that avenue to help those individuals not only find them, but not start off on the wrong foot.
Absolutely. So if we have a clear intention and we're clear about what it is we want, what it is we need, how to articulate that, and how to set boundaries and enforce them, I think we'd all have a much better start at developing something healthy. So
What inspired this?
just my work with singles, you know, and I've got some singles on my caseload, all of which are great people. I have men who are single, great, say they can't find a woman. I have women who are great, say they can't find a man. And if there could be an opportunity for these good people to come together, maybe something could happen. I think we all have misconceptions about there not being anybody good out there, but you know, I personally get, I think, a sneak peek into people's lives, and I do see firsthand there are good people here that really want healthy relationships. So why not create an opportunity for maybe bringing them together?
Look at that, CC Jean being the matchmaker out here.
I'm trying.
Right? I think you've got a great position in that you know that you have folks on both sides of the spectrum that
Yes.
are looking
Yes.
for those kind of meaningful relationships, and you can't just say, why don't you meet me at 2 and you meet me at 2? Well, so
Right.
this is kind of let your guard down and figure this whole process out.
That's right. And no one has to know that, you know, you might be a client or whatever. It's just open to everybody. So hopefully a lot of like-minded people will show up.
That's right. I like the sound of that. So listen, Singles Night Out, Friday, February 7th, 7 p.m. Where you say it was again?
Clocked Out Sports Bar in Pascagoula. And if you need more information, you can feel free to give our office a call.
Yep.
228-679-9738. We'd love to hear from you and answer your questions.
Awesome. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.